Today we'll go over all the modifications I've done to this 2017 VW Scirocco GT that took it from looking like this when it was stock to what we have here today. Not only have we done some performance modifications under the hood, but both the exterior and interior of the car have undergone some unique upgrades as well. Since we're currently in the process of going stage 3 with this engine, I think it's probably best we start off with the performance mods. So what you're looking at here is an EA211 1.4 TSI CZ-CA engine with, of course, this RTMG cold air intake installed, made out of real carbon fiber. This thing is an absolute masterpiece and does actually sound phenomenal whenever you let go of the throttle. Apart from that though, the charge pipe and the actual internals of the engine are stock, but I have upgraded the stock coil packs to these red APR ones. They didn't make any difference in terms of performance, but they do look quite nice in your engine bay. What will make a noticeable difference in your engine's performance though are these NGK spark plugs. These are some proper performance ones that you can get for these engines. One of the best ones, even if you're running a stage 1 map or your stock, they will just make your car feel a little bit better and a little bit more responsive. At least they did whenever I upgraded from the standard ones to these NGK Laser Platinum Premiums. And if we take a look further back into the engine bay, as you can see, we have a stock turbocharger there, as well as a bigger downpipe, but both of these will be replaced very soon. The only other thing under the hood are these gas bonnet struts that are installed from Dark Ice Designs. Oh, and let's not forget about the exhaust. The exhaust has also been modified. So the exhaust on here is pretty much fully custom built by various companies that have worked on the car over the years. I've gone through quite a few exhaust revisions, taking out the back box, taking out the resonator, putting a resonator back in, installing the bigger downpipe, and it's really just been a process of like fine-tuning the exhaust note to the point where right now, very happy with the way the car sounds. The only thing that I'd want to get installed is a valved exhaust system, just so I could get everything nice and quiet when I want it quiet. Because when you're cruising down the motorway at 70 miles an hour, it's quite loud and it just drones. So you really got to turn your music up to not lose your mind. It's not too bad when you're sitting in the front here, but if you're a rear passenger for too long, by the time you arrive at your destination, you will be more or less deaf. Apart from the performance upgrades though, I'd say that's pretty much all of them, unless you count the big spoiler there as a performance upgrade as well. Let's talk about the exterior changes that we've done to the car, because we have quite the list of stuff to get through. So I'm going to begin with the LED lighting changes. The middle one is the actual daytime running light bulb, and we've swapped that one out from a halogen bulb that was yellow to this white LED one. The headlights are also custom built and use BMW style halos that are normally in the color white when it's in daytime running light mode, but if you indicate, they actually turn orange as well. And then on the actual headlight housing, I've put these gloss black headlight eyebrows, and finally we swapped out the standard wing mirror indicator to this sweeping dynamic one. The original GT front bumper with the honeycomb grille patterns has been replaced with a Scirocco R-Line front bumper, which in my opinion looks a little bit nicer since the styling on the side here line up with the actual grille here. I swapped out the silver VW badge to a black one and even added a black GT logo. And as you may have noticed already, I've even added a Maxton Design front splitter. This is their V2 for the Scirocco R, but it does fit the R-Line and the GT bumper just fine. Unfortunately, my front splitter has suffered quite a bit of damage over the years, but it's sort of unavoidable when you lower your car and you get a front splitter on UK roads. It's gonna break the front splitter eventually, and if it gets worse and worse, we lose more of it, but it is what it is, man. You just gotta accept that. Moving on to the alloys that we have on the car, because this is the Black Edition Scirocco, it comes with black alloys as standard, black mirror caps, a black roof, and a black spoiler. And because all Sciroccos are front wheel drive, even the top spec Scirocco R is, you're gonna need some good tires on the front to actually put all that power down through the front wheels. So I've gone for the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, which I'm sure you've probably heard about already. I've tried the Goodyear Eagle F1s before, as well as the Pirelli P0s and some budget tires, and I can without a doubt say the Pilot Sport 4s have been by far the best tire I've had on this car. In terms of suspension upgrades, I've dropped the car by 30 millimeters on VMAX springs, and the Maxton Design side skirts also continue around the car. So not only do we have a Maxton Design front splitter, we also have the Maxton Design side skirts, and Maxton Design rear side skirts or rear spats. I don't know what you really call these, but yeah, a lot of Maxton Design stuff on here. Getting back to the wing mirrors as well, I've swapped out the standard mirror frame that is plastic to this carbon fiber looking one, but it's not real carbon fiber, as you can probably tell on camera. And if we move over to here, we also have some more AliExpress parts. So yeah, this is a carbon fiber door handle cover. Incredible stuff, really looks super high quality there, very real carbon fiber, don't even doubt it. The actual side skirts on this car have been replaced from the standard Scirocco GT ones that normally have black trim right here to the Scirocco R side skirts. And finally, taking a look at the back of the car, we of course have this gigantic spoiler that we've mounted. For Sciroccos, you can get different variations of this exact spoiler, some of which are shorter, some of which are even longer than what I have here. This is called an extended Scirocco R Cup spoiler, and I ended up buying it off of a guy I was following on Instagram. I DM'd him, and turns out he was actually making them himself. I paid him via Western Union, and he ended up shipping it all the way from Turkey to the UK, and boom, we have a massive spoiler now. VW themselves actually make their very own spoiler just like this. It's just not as long as what I have here, but finding a genuine VW Cup spoiler like that, given that Sciroccos are no longer being manufactured, might be one, very expensive if you do find one, or two, you won't actually be able to get one from your VW dealership anymore because they don't make these cars no more. All sorts of websites out there sell different variations of these spoilers, but the fitment is usually really bad from what I've heard. Buying any of these spoilers on AliExpress or eBay normally results in you having a very, very bad time when it comes to actually getting it to fit on your car. Leave a comment down below if you know where else you can buy well-fitting spoilers for these Sciroccos. But moving on to the rest of the changes that we've done at the back here, we added a black VW badge, a black GT badge, Lambo style license plates, a reversing camera, and finally we swapped out the stock rear diffuser to a genuine VW one that looks way better in my opinion. It has these fins, as you can hopefully see on camera. It is a similar story as with the spoiler. Very hard to find genuine parts. I ended up buying mine on eBay a long time ago. Luckily though, you can get a near replica rear diffuser for this facelift GT bumper on sites like AliExpress, and I think a few others now sell it as well. I don't know about the fitment of the replica one, but nevertheless you can get one, and it does look more or less identical to the genuine part. And finally, the interior mods. So we have an LED ambient lighting kit set up throughout the entire car. You can change the color to pretty much anything you want. At nighttime, it looks way better than it does during the daytime. Apart from that though, I ended up swapping out the interior door handles from silver trim to gloss black, added this carbon fiber piece from AliExpress as well. Then as you walk into the car, you're greeted by the GT sill protector, as well as these red seat belts in the front. Down in the driver's side footwell, we have a 5-pedal setup. When you press this one, it makes a nice noise, and when you press this one, now I'm just messing with you guys, these are just aluminum covers for the footrests to match the aluminum covers on the actual pedals. Then if we have a look up here, we have my wireless charger for my phone that also supports MagSafe and even has a fan built in. Then I've ended up swapping out the standard Scirocco GT steering wheel with silver trim to this Scirocco R1 with gloss black trim. The only problem is this is not a Scirocco R, it never will be, so the R badge I feel like just does not belong on this car. I'm sure you'd probably agree as well. So my plan is eventually to take the whole steering wheel apart, remove the R logo and put a GT logo there instead. Now, you may have noticed as well, we have CarPlay running on this infotainment system, despite my phone not actually having a lightning cable plugged into it. And that is because it's wireless Apple CarPlay, thanks to this USB dongle I have here that is actually plugged into the USB port there. That's of course for this infotainment system. Up here we even have 3 extra dials that come standard on facelift Sciroccos, but this doesn't come standard. So we have a fully digital rear view mirror that's completely replaced the stock one. It even doubles as a front and rear dash cam. So you can either use it in this mode, which works more or less like a normal rear view mirror would, or you switch it to this mode, which in my opinion is way more effective, and you see pretty much everything out of your rear window, because the visibility in these Sciroccos is notoriously bad. But when you have a setup like this, where you have a camera at the back there, your rear view visibility all of a sudden is incredibly good. Taking a look at the back here, it's pretty standard for the most part, apart from the ambient lighting conversion. We have this bin that I'd highly recommend you buy on Amazon. It fits perfectly right here, and it's dead easy to access whenever you're driving, and you can actually fit stuff in here and throw it away by opening up this Velcro. Dead easy. But if you don't want to have a bin there, you could upgrade your rear passengers to have cup holders by buying this thing as well. I'll leave it in the description down below in case you're interested. And I believe that's all the mods covered right there. But if you guys want to find out more about the stage 3 build that we're doing on this engine, you can watch this video here, because we're building quite possibly the fastest EA211 engine in the country.